Welcome to Pelicans Flock Report, where I give you everything New Orleans Pelicans from a fan's perspective. I'm your host, D. Broussard. First things first, man, before I get started, like always, man, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss it. The all new Pelicans Flock Report. You don't want to miss it. I'm telling you, man. Today, man, on this episode, I kind of want to touch on a trendy topic right now. As most of you should know by now, Stephen A. Smith and the Pels have been going back and forth. Stephen A. had a segment on the show First Take yesterday where he completely, I wouldn't say disintegrated, but he definitely gave us a reality check, I would say. And I think it's something that the organization uh, should face the reality of what he said yesterday because a lot of it is actually true. And it was kind of hard for me watching that and listening to that as a Pelicans fan, because, those realities are realities that I don't want to face as a fan. But hey, sometimes the truth hurts. And a lot of the things that Stephen A said, they were really true. So I just had a couple points that I want to make um about what was said and what I think um about the organization and the past failures, and it just kind of made me think about where we are right now and looking back at how things were years ago. And it's kind of like when I look back at then and now, I'm kind of like it was like a reality check for me because I'm like, man, it's like this is still going on. Like we're still going through this in 2026 as fans. Like we're still having issues producing a winning product on the basketball court. Now, some of it I can say it's not all on the Bensons because the Bensons haven't always owned the team. Tom bought the team in 2012. Um, but you know, hey, I mean, some of it is on them, not time because of course we know time has passed, but Gail. So, some of it is on them. And one of the things I want to talk about was the constant injuries. Now we look back then, now Anthony Davis, when Anthony Davis was a Pelican, Anthony Davis was on the injured list a lot during his time with the Pelicans and missed significant amount of time. Now we look at Zion. It's almost like the same reoccurring thing. Like Zion has missed a significant amount of time. Now, obviously, most of the time that Zion has missed hasn't solely been on the organization. A lot of it has been on Zion as well. But I can say that some of it is on the organization as well, too, by not holding Zion accountable for his actions and making him take the game serious, get in shape, um, work harder during the off season to stay healthy, find a trainer, things that he's done now. I feel like those are things that he should have been doing his first and second year in the league, not his seventh, you know. So constant injuries, has plagued us and hurt us. And not just our star players, the guys uh that have been placed around the star players as well have suffered from injuries and missing significant amount of time. And as I said in last episode, when you have these injuries and guys missing significant amount of time, it hurts the chemistry of the team. So it's hard to produce a winning product when your full team is not available. Medical staff concerns. That's something that I spoke about as well in the last episode. I spoke on it before. Then the medical staff concerns. Um, Injury recover timelines, uh, re-injuries. Now, when I say re-injuries, I mean guys re-injuring the same muscle or ligament or whatever it may be that they've already recovered from. When you look at Zion, having multiple hamstring problems, like those are re-injuries. Like, why does Zion continue having hamstring problems? Like sometimes it's up to the medical staff to find out, okay, well, why are these things reoccurring? Like, why are these things consistently happening? You know, to where, guys don't have to keep missing time for the same injuries. Um, I can honestly think, um, if I'm not mistaken, I think Herb missed some time this season, kind of like with the same reoccurring injury, which was like an ankle injury, I believe. Um, Also long-term durability for the medical staff. Like, how do we, get guys to be on the court long term and be durable? You know, Not consistently being on the bench in street clothes. Because we need guys on the floor to win games. Like, we're not gonna win games. I don't care who the coach is, how much talent we have. If all those pieces aren't on the basketball court, we're not gonna win games. It's just not gonna happen. Lack of organizational stability. Now, when I say that, I mean we've had several coaching changes over the years. I mean, you look at guys like Stan Van Gundy, Willie Green, Alvin Gentry, Monty Williams. I mean, we've had multiple different coaches over the years, coaching switches, GM switches, Dale Demps, um, David Griffin, and now, Troy Weaver. It's just it's been so many different changes over the years. So I think that kind of um comes from lack of organization stability, like just not being stable, not choosing the right guys that can stay for a long period of time and create something that we can build off of on the court and in the front office, you know. But I think things are gonna change with Joe Dumars, as I said before. Joe is a winner. Troy Weaver is a great talent scout from what I've heard from other players on podcasts and things of that nature. So um, a lot of people have a lot of high respect for Troy Weaver. Troy Weaver, built this current Detroit Pistons team, who's number one in the East. So I would say that's kind of trending in the right direction now for us as far as having organizational stability. Failure to maximize talent. Um, we're looking at the same thing with Zion Williamson as we saw with Anthony Davis. During the Anthony Davis era, we just couldn't maximize Anthony Davis's talent. You know, um, Not putting him around the right guys for a long period of time. And then when we finally put him around the right players, um, he didn't want to be here anymore. So it's kind of like the same thing with Zion as well. We haven't been able to maximize Zion's full talent because we haven't, you know, try to make him get better, make him condition himself, make him do the things that he need to do so he can be on the basketball court. Like, how are we gonna maximize his talent if we're not making him accountable? Those things are a part of maximizing a player's talent, holding them accountable to where, you know, we let them know, like, hey, you're the center stone. I mean, you're the centerpiece. You're the you're the face of the franchise. We need you to be ready. We need you to be locked in, focused, and do the things that you need to do so we can build talent around you and we can win games. So we have to maximize the talent that we have. And not even just Zion, other players as well. Whether it's Trey Murphy, whether it's Herb Jones, um, even the young rookies that we have now. Um, how are we gonna maximize their talent? You see Jeremiah Fears struggling at times playing the point guard position, turn the ball over. We see Derek Queen, not really having a jump shot right now currently. Um, he's great with the footwork and things of that nature, but he needs to work on his jump shot because he's not always gonna be able to get to the rack. So he has to have a jump shot. And I think if he gets a jump shot, it's gonna make him a whole lot better. So being that we have talent, we have to be able to maximize that talent and get these guys to develop and play to their full potential. And hopefully we can do that. Now, since Joe Dumars is in the front office. Small market challenges. This is one of the challenges that we face as an organization, being a small market. Obviously, free agents aren't jumping through the roof to come to New Orleans and play. Um, you know, there's been talks about, you know, the city of New Orleans not really supporting basketball. Um, New Orleans is a football city, not really basketball. Things like that. I don't really feel like those things are true because I've seen the Smoothie King Center packed out, like electric, like packed out before. So I know those things are true. Like I believe that the fans, we support this team. The fan support is there. So they can kill that. But the fan support is there. The fans just want a winner. They want winning product on the basketball court. Nobody want to keep spending their money to buy tickets to a game to continue to see a losing effort. And that has to change. If you want more fan interaction, you have to produce winning product. Now, we've seen that being in a small market doesn't really matter with the Milwaukee Bucks, the Denver Nuggets, both in which won championships. They've won championships. You know, like um nobody knew who Giannis was when he came to the league. Like this dude highlight tape looked like VHS. Like nobody knew who this guy was. But the Bucks were able to develop him and make him reach his maximum potential. And ultimately, they were able to win a championship, even being in a small market. So, small market challenges, yes, every team in a small market has challenges, but that still doesn't mean that you have to continue to be mediocre and lackluster and not winning games. That doesn't mean that. You still have to build around what you have. And that's, you know, uh the draft, uh trading, acquiring players. Like you still have to build and work with what you have. Because as I said, in a small market, guys, the top free agents, you know, they're not gonna be like, hey, I want to go play in New Orleans, and that's acceptable. Like we understand that. All small market teams in the NBA understand that. Like, so, um, but I mean, hey, man, these were just a few things that I just kind of wanted to touch on about the organization and its struggles over the years. Um, and you know, I just kind of question, are the New Orleans Pelicans the worst organization in the NBA? Because over the years, I mean, to other people outside, whether it's the media or just, the NBA in general, I mean, at times, man, it kind of looks that way. As far as I'm not saying now, but due to past accomplishments and now still being kind of like in the same situation, like mediocre, um, not winning, you know, uh, at times it kind of looks like we are the worst organization in the NBA. It does. Will it remain that way though? Like I said, I don't think so. I honestly think for once in a while, like this team is headed in the right direction. Under Joe Dumars' leadership. I believe that. And I stand on that. But hey, I can be wrong. You know, it's just my perspective, my opinion. I can be wrong. But we shall see. That's it for me, man. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. The all new Pelicans flock report. You don't want to miss it. I'm telling y'all, man, you don't want to miss it. Shout out to everybody that's already subscribed out there. I appreciate y'all, man. As long as y'all keep subscribing, I'm gonna keep bringing y'all these videos. I'll be back tonight as we face off against the Sacramento Kings. I'll be back to dissect and go through that game. So make sure you tune in. And yeah, man, we'll see what this Pelicans team is gonna do, man, going into the future, man. I'm really curious to find out. Um, I'm really excited about the Joe Dumars era, and I think we got something. I think we gonna turn this thing around. I really do. But like I say, we'll see. Until next time, though, man. I'm out, man.